Hi everyone, it's time for the video this week, which is going to mainly be about Nope, but there won't be spoilers, so don't worry about it. But before that, if I could ask, if you like any of these videos, if you like the podcast, if you like any of our social media, please like, subscribe, share stuff around. We don't ask for any pennies, and we wouldn't. I did have a scare though this weekend with my MacBook almost packing up on me, but an extra part was needed that I ordered that I got fixed. So it was a reminder that we do these things and we share this content hoping to reach our people, and we want to do it consistently, and we would like to reach more and more people. So anything you can do to help in that regard is welcome. I know it's a cost of living crisis at the moment pretty much everywhere, so always free, always hopefully fun, and we just ask that hopefully you would share some stuff, sometimes maybe your favourite parts, and as I say, like and subscribe, whether it's here on YouTube, Twitter, follow us there, Facebook page, the podcast itself, obviously on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever. That would be most welcome. I only had the one bit of shopping this week. It is this, which I don't know if you can recognise that, but it is The Last Broadcast, which is an interesting found footage film that I can't recall if it came out before or just round about the same time as the Blair Witch Project, but it was certainly worth considering within the horror subgenre and the found footage style of horror at that time. I'm not going to convince people that it's a classic, but it's actually really good, really well done, really understated, quite spooky, has a finale you'll either love or hate. And I know quite a few people that really hate how it ends. I think it's an interesting statement on technology, media, and how things are presented to us. So, speaking of interesting statements about how things are presented to us and technology and media, I got along to see Nope at the cinema. It was just out here in the UK last Friday, I think, is when it opened, so got along on the evening. I think it's fantastic. People will disagree. People will disagree strongly. I can understand why it's a divisive film. It's certainly not the film I really expected it to be, but it has elements of the film I was expecting. But everything else that runs through it from start to finish is way more densely packed in there than I thought. Like, every scene, every moment seems to have layers and layers and layers of commentary that Jordan Peele has put in there regarding a number of different key topics, and that is fascinating. It's a real juicy onion, or maybe a parfait. Is it parfait that Donkey would prefer to call it? It's definitely just a film you can peel away and peel away and peel away. So many layers. I think Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer are both superb in their roles, and Stephen Yeun in his supporting role. They're all really great. I think there are some great moments, but aside from some of the set pieces and some of the tense moments, the main thing it's doing is twisting some of the movie ideas that we've seen presented so much over the past, I've got to say, like 70, 80 years when it comes to this kind of sci-fi horror. And yeah, it's almost a Trojan horse packed full of so much stuff in there that's fascinating about I'm not going into spoilers, but you know, it kind of covers the history of Hollywood and some really, really interesting topics that you can have discussions about for hours and hours on end once you've seen it. I highly recommend it. I do also strongly warn you that you will probably love or hate it. I see very few people landing in the middle with that one. Non-horror, also saw Elvis at the weekend, and I mean that's superb as well. Austin Butler is amazing in that role. It is the Baz Luhrmann style, the music, the editing, the hyper stylized, hyper reality presentation of things just works so well. But Butler does so great at not just doing an impression, but investing that with the emotion and the, at times, the extra level that Luhrmann would ask from him. We've all seen the videos comparing Rami Malek's performance to the Queen at Live Aid footage, and I would say put any moment from Elvis with Austin Butler performing as Elvis on stage alongside archival footage, you will struggle to notice any difference. I thought there was a lot more archival footage being snuck into the film there. I believe most of it was Butler performing. It's amazing. I love it. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. For me, it just flew by. It does gloss over at least one unpalatable aspect of Elvis's life that everyone's kind of familiar with, but there's certain aspects of his life not really covered. But it's a film that's looking at the legend and it's looking at him with the Colonel. So that is the focus. That is where Luhrmann is choosing to look. It's, yeah, that's the tale he's telling. He's not doing every nook and cranny of the journey and every speck of dust and dirt. He's looking at the icon, and he's looking at how that icon was mistreated as the golden goose, laying the big fat eggs for Colonel Tom Parker, who is played by Tom Hanks, and I'm still mulling over what I think of his performance there. But if you like Elvis anyway, you should love it. If you don't like Elvis, I still say give it a try, and you should really enjoy it because it's quite the spectacle and just pretty awesome. So Nope, high recommend. You'll love or hate. Elvis, high recommend. I think most people will at least like it and probably love it. And that's it for this week. Till next week. Bye.